for his VP, Kamala Harris. Rick, and
that's good, Bubba. You got
Serious
right.
voice.
Yeah, and I tell you what is, politics, everybody, it's strange bedfellows to say the least, and in this case maybe more than normal.
There you go. So you went right to the bed.
Well, she a few months ago accused Joe Biden of being a racist and handsy with women. She said in a debate, "I believe your accusers." But yet she agreed to be his running mate. Now, if you really believe he's a racist and you really believe he has assaulted women, what in the world are you doing becoming his partner running for this office? That either shows that you'll just do anything for the job, or
There it was.
or you didn't really mean what you were saying then.
Okay, and I want to go further because I'm so glad you're making this point because you're right. Because we are told now, which I don't agree with, that no matter what you did in your life at any time, you're labeled that for the rest of your life, according to the Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
in the debate on the racial side, she brought up correctly that the Democratic Party, including Joe Biden, were on the wrong side
of history
when it comes to segregation and the civil rights movement.
Yep.
She brought that up and talked
name.
about how it felt for her to be bused. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And that he was against it. So I guess now, to Bubba's point,
Rick, this hadn't been not even.
No,
a
this
year.
is a few months ago.
Yeah.
to Bubba's point, then I guess Kamala Harris is saying to the world, we mustn't hold people's past sins against them.
That's the only thing she can say.
Now
You can't say-
when I was trying to win
So
the
he's
primary,
not
it was
not
important.
forever a racist because he was a racist at one time.
Yeah,
Right?
look,
That's
when
what
we
she's
were talking
saying.
about it
Rick,
the other
why
day.
would she be the running partner of a racist?
Well, you wouldn't think she would.
When we were talking
Or
about it
handsy.
the other day, I didn't think that she helped out the ticket a whole lot. She's from California. By the way, and look, just honest and fair is fair, okay? I've seen the emails and the things going around online that she's really not a U.S. citizen because of where her parents are from
let's don't
and all that
start all
stuff.
that.
Are we doing
I
that
don't
again?
care about
Listen,
all that.
she was born in California. She is legal.
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's
She was
okay.
born in California. let's take issue
We
with
always
the
go
real
there.
with the real issues out there, not something made up incorrect. Because
right.
that takes away from the real issues. Okay, don't get lost on. She wasn't born here because her parents were immigrants. She was born in California.
Yeah,
okay?
There's plenty of issues that are way more important than that.
And I can't even get to even discussing that. That's silly and
now-
a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
Even in the debate, she was accused by one of the other candidates of intentionally tampering with evidence, keeping people in prison longer than they should have, because she needed a cheap workforce for California. It was a Gabby, what's her name, the representative from Hawaii. Isn't that her name?
She's the one that can get you a better deal on insurance.
Yeah, I think so. I know.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I almost frowned.
look, and these were in the recent debates, the things that they said about her and the things she said about Joe Biden. And again, I realize there's been people who were who were rivals, and then they joined together in a ticket. Okay, Reagan Bush, and they were very staunch rivals. But what they were rivals about was policy, about the way they looked at issues, about taxation, about spending money, about where your liberal position is on something, who paid for this PA system, stuff like that. In this issue, she directly turned to Joe Biden and said, "You're a racist and you're a molester," basically. Okay.
What?
Now, how do you? I
Tough
understand
to
we
get
have
past
difference on policy,
Right.
but are we to the point will just whitewash over that, so to speak?
Easy.
Well, I mean, it's a term.
I'd like
Like
to do
you
this.
said, you made the point. Why would she want to run with him? Why would he want her to run with him after you accuse me of
Well, he has no choice because he was basically told by the mob, if you don't do this, and he got a letter right before the pick from 100 black men that said, if you do not pick a black female, we're coming after you. Mm-hmm.
I think
he also
politically-
has probably forgotten what she said about him.
And
Wow, there's that.
in fairness to Kamala Harris, if she was the best qualified candidate for the VP position for the Democrats, but she got the job because Joe had already painted himself in the corner and said, "I got to pick a black female." Do you really feel good about the pick? Or is it politics and the hunger for power? We just don't care. I'm going to get in there, and Joe Biden, there's no way he's going to finish a 4-year term. I will be president of the United States. Does that cover all sins?
We have a winner. Because, Bubba, if you can be Joe Biden's vice president, your shot, if they win, of being president is really high.
If you tell me
Closer than it's ever
I'm
been.
one heartbeat away of Joe Biden from being president, I feel like I got a pretty good shot.
She accepted this, and he picked her for politics only. And politics, it supersedes any other issue.
Yeah.
It's all about political power. You know what I'd like to do, and I know y'all talked about it, and Adler, this may be a handle. We'll try to find it. He's showing the pictures of when she said these things to him, and we have the audio. But also this new stuff that everybody's bringing up when Biden was running for president way back when.
I tweeted some of that out yesterday. It is hilarious.
All the things he lied about his education. And all that.
And Rick, he's called on the carpet, not by Fox News, because guess what? They wasn't a Fox News.
Didn't exist.
Sam Donaldson of ABC News, big lib.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all calling him out on it because he blatantly lied.
Yeah, so I'd like to revisit.
Can we watch a couple of those?
Sure.
They're fun. I mean, really, aside from the sad part, they're kind of funny.
So we'll start with things that were not that long ago, and this is Kamala Harris reminding Joe Biden of his racist past involving the busing and segregation of schools. Here we go.
Do you agree today? That you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well,
I
there
did
was
not
a
oppose.
failure of states to integrate
No,
public
but
schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a
So
local
that's
decision.
where the federal government must step
The
in. That's why
federal
we have the
government must
Voting
step-
Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of
I
all
have
people.
supported.
And so that's now been forgiven. And then the next one, you remember there were people saying that Joe Biden is a little handsy, and Kamala
A
Harris
little grabby.
And Kamala Harris says she thinks those women are telling the truth. Here it is.
I believe them, and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it.
Do you believe that the vice president should enter this race?
He's going to have to make that decision for himself. I wouldn't tell him what to do.
So there it is.
But now I will be his
believes the
partner.
But so she believed he
Well,
was.
I don't know about y'all, but would you join up in partnership with somebody who you thought was a molester?
No, she just said she believed the women.
Wait a minute, Bubba. Are you talking about would I accept the invitation to run alongside a handsy racist?
not just a handsy racist.
So if you do, what does that say about you?
Well, I'll tell you what it says.
Because you've made your case, prosecutor.
You'll bark with whatever dog barks the loudest. That's what you'll do.
So now we've gone back in time to talk about that Joe Biden has had a
Don't bring up Willie Brown.
Joe Biden has
Speaking of handsy.
a history of not telling the truth. Y'all, this is not even. It's like he has an entire lifetime of lying. And like,
Rick, he was run out of one of those elections because he plagiarized a speech.
Yeah. Here's a slew of old reports.
Here we go.
His own words.
And there was no Fox News, to Bubba's point. This was all mainstream media.
Yeah, the first voice you hear is Joe Biden.
New Hampshire. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
So he just stands there
Let me ask you this.
talking to these people and invents a resume that's a complete lie.
Yeah.
Why would you even do that? Because that's something easy to check. You go back and see what he graduated because they rank the law school students.
Right. Look,
it's easy to check.
Well, this goes back again. Greg, you talk about these people.
Hey, we finished national champs in '82.
You're right. But people can just look and see. But as you said, these people that lie for no reason, you could just simply say, I got a law degree from Syracuse.
That's it. Leave it at that.
Okay.
Don't mention where you ranked in class.
That's way ahead of anything that I could have done academically.
Oh, yeah. Or anybody he's talking to in that crowd.
But no. I have to make it even more. He was a below average student in a law school and finished toward the bottom of his class, but he still got a degree. But he's got to add 2 more degrees. He's got to add top of his class, and he's got to add that he got 165 credits when he really only needed 120. He just went beyond. He just couldn't. He just kept on educating himself.
Yeah. This next one is where he stole phrases from other speeches, and so it's going to go back and forth a little bit with his voice and who he stole it from. Take a listen.
Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden today faces a controversy. 3 weeks ago, at a debate at the Iowa State Fair, he used phrases identical to those delivered by British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock.
Biden seemed to be claiming Kinnock's vision and life as his own.
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Gladys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
The problem here is that Senator Biden told his audience he'd just been thinking about these things, and he failed to give any credit at all to his famous British.
So he's a liar. I mean, he has a history of not being truthful. So what we have is a Democratic candidate that has a history of not telling the truth. He doesn't appear to have his faculties, and that's something that we should all have compassion about, but at his age. And now he has picked a running mate that at one time called him a racist and it was handsy with women. This is a weird situation
welcome to 2020, Rick.
Right, yeah.
And I'm afraid it's only just begun.
So anyway, that's we now know the Democratic ticket. There it is. Will it give them what they need to defeat Trump in November? Guys, what's going to happen between now and November, none of us, I think, can even pretend to imagine. And then what's going to happen after November, no matter which party wins, we can't even, we've had people say they've seen dreams about what's going to happen. We certainly don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I think without anybody having a dream or anything, I think we can all just go by what we know and have already experienced. I think we can all say we're headed for more chaotic times.
Yeah, I think really either party that wins, you're going to have an immediate investigation for impeachment.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
And the fact that the left is turning into the socialistic / communistic party.
Yep.
And you've got the mobs in the streets, anarchists. There's just these are volatile times, to say the least. Pandemic, top of the hour. We'll be back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.